Welcome aboard.
Stacy.
No, I want to go home to my cats and my glitters.
Hutch.
I'm Blanket Man, and then I throw my arm towards her face.
This guy.
Why do you need this money so bad anyway? You two are like 4 years old. Is that a real gun? Oh, God, it's my foot!
Stacy and Hutch. Say too much.
Or at least move over.
Do you have a problem with your face, or what's going on there?
Not me, but I think a lot of people have. I've consistently had problems with my face. It's triggering to some.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Hey.
Apparently, you guys don't know your real personalities.
We don't?
No. In fact,
I'm going to pensively disagree.
Okay, pensively disagree, because I'm going to tell you how I know your true personalities.
Do tell.
Is this come in list form by chance?
How did you know?
I don't know. It was a good guess.
Why is it that I love lists?
I think we all do.
I don't think this guy
fun.
does it.
I believe you like lists because you feel like the world around you is chaotic, and it's a way for that part of your world to be organized.
Correct. Can I see your phone?
No.
Just the background. Let me see the background of the phone.
Okay.
Yeah. That was easy. I just want to see the background of your phone. Okay. You're a real softie, Alex, with wells of compassion for the troubles of family.
Aww.
Friends, even perfect strangers. You inspire others with your upbeat philosophy on life. He had a cuddly animal on his phone screen, and that's what it means.
Ah.
I wouldn't say he has an upbeat philosophy of life. I think he has a philosophy.
No, I don't think the show hears it particularly often, but outside of the show, I think I absolutely do.
Stacey, let me see yours real quick.
I think you know what mine is. I'm trying to make it so you can kind of see
National
it.
Sky. Oh, another cuddly animal.
Benito Mussolini.
Apparently.
Henry.
You're a real softie, Stace. Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing about this whole list is that there's nothing about if you have a partner on your thing and what that means.
Well, it's Henry.
Fair.
I guess you're right. Yeah. No, I find it interesting. If you had to describe your personality to someone else without being yourself, how would you describe yourself? You know, like let's say Alex was friends with Alex and he had to introduce himself to Alex to Stacy. Do you think he would go off course as to say who he was? Does he think he's something different than we see him? Does that make sense to you? Alex has to introduce you to Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that he's going to be able to describe himself? Like for me, I would say, hey, Stace, meet Hutch. Hutch is a loving, caring person. He's this, he's that. He's a hard worker. He's dedicated. He's compassionate. He's full of kindness and love, and he'll take care of people.
Why are you friends?
Well,
see, that's how I look at myself.
Right.
That makes sense.
But how you guys look at that, you're like, nah.
I don't know if I would describe you that way.
But that's a healthy way to
look at yourself.
I mean, listen, I only did the positives. I'm an overthinker. I'm anxious sometimes. I stress out about little things sometimes. In truth be told, I've gotten better.
Oh my gosh, yes, you have.
But do you see how I described myself?
Yeah.
It's interesting. So how would you do it? People listening right now, how would you describe yourself to someone that has never met you being out of body?
Where did you go?
Hutch is gone.
I hate this thing. It still hears me.
Okay, good.
StreamYard decided that's incorrect and just dropped him.
Here's Hutch.
Yeah, and by the way, I can't get back in unless I log out. So, anyway, so it's just gonna be my voice from now on.
Okay.
I'm gonna be your puppet.
Okay, you always are. So, would you guys be able to accurately describe yourself? Would you say first off that was an accurate representation of me?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Without obviously the negatives of
Yeah, you didn't say
be.
any negative things.
I think that's exactly how, and I don't even mean this way. I think that's exactly how you see yourself. I think that's pretty darn accurate.
But again, listeners outside will
Yeah.
text in. I can only do this for me because I only remember the bad ones for me. You're an awful dad. You're stupid.
Come on.
You're this.
No,
you're
there's
that.
truth there. I'm kidding.
I'm not back yet. But yeah. So could you accurately describe yourself? I want people to do this with their friends and stuff to see if their friends laugh like you
It's
guys
actually
did.
kind of an interesting process to go through.
Well, it's because that list is telling you what your personality is based on something of your phone, but I don't know if we could accurately describe ourselves.
I know. It would be interesting.
Living in our own body.
If you wrote that down or typed that out, and printed it out. And then at like a group gathering, everybody grabbed one, and then you'd be like, "Who do you suppose this
Oh,
is?"
that's great.
And then figured out who
Yeah.
it was.
And then they start saying yours, and you're in the background going, it's me. You know, like, could you accurately describe yourself out of body? I don't know if you could.
Evil on the inside.
Just how would you describe yourself?
Gosh, fiercely independent. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Lover of candy.
Don't help her.
Oh,
Lover
sorry.
of
We can help
candy,
you.
yes.
Sorry. Oh, you're right.
Lover of animals, likes free time, likes alone time, but doesn't like to be lonely.
Loves
Sounds like
her alone time, but doesn't love to be alone.
Sounds like some work for a therapist.
Well, I mean, yeah. So it's hard
Yeah, it is.
to describe yourself to someone when
It
it's out of
is.
body. So
It's really hard.
your turn, Alex. Since I'm not on camera.
I think there are people in this world that enjoy my company and like me to almost an annoying degree, and there is an equal amount of people who do not like me. And I think you can either take me or leave me type of person. Where if I meet somebody for the first time, the problem is I'm very direct and honest. If I've met people who I'm just like, I don't like, and I've said it. I was like, no, I don't particularly
Care for you.
Yeah. And so there are plenty of people who don't like me / despise me. And then there are people who love me. So I think I think I come across as hopefully at least an honest person, but also to
Direct.
many people, I think almost an ugly person.
Oh, I
To some
wouldn't
people.
say that.
That's true.
Not physically,
It's true.
personality wise.
Physically to some as well.
No,
Yeah.
physically you're great.
But I'm completely comfortable with that.
But
So
would you describe yourself that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm completely satisfied with the fact that
You're
there are going
self-aware.
to be a very
Yeah,
large amount of
self-aware.
people that aren't going to take to me necessarily. I think I've normally successfully some jobs I've had mostly like when I worked at Puma. I think I got on with everybody, and then there's been other jobs where there's been probably a majority of people who did not like me and wanted me out, and it really depends on environment and stuff like that. And that's actually where I've struggled here. I've struggled here adjusting to the pace of life. The way people are, like if you meet people in person here, I've just had a difficult time, and it's just different. It's
Connecting,
coming from different places in the way people interact, and also my family interact very differently than I've kind of had with people here, and that's why I think there's probably a good amount of people that even listen to the show that aren't a fan of me, and then there's also people who appreciate me, and that's just how it is.
Well, the reason I bring up our personalities is because lately, since basically about State Fair time with Annunciation and now Charlie Kirk stuff, like I personally, I don't know if you guys have, I've just been in a weird sense of just low energy. Where has this world come to? Who am I as a human? You know, am I as kind as I would like to think I am? Am I as a lot of self-reflecting when it comes to I was talking about this with Lauren last night. I said, I know my purpose. And again, if you guys feel the same, please interrupt and talk. But I know my purpose is in life. There's one that I'm questioning, which is the third. The first one is I know I was here to provide, to keep safe my family and my partner, my friends. I know that I was here to put on this earth to protect them and provide for them. Number two was to provide some sort of entertainment and some sort of happiness to other people. And the third is to find growth within those two things. And so I feel like I'm at the top of my game of all of that. And where do you go from that? It was, oh, Lauren's going to kill me. It was this triangle. There's a triangle where you get things you need, things you want, things you...
almost like the food pyramid type of vibe?
Yes, it was. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, what's most important, and then...
But it's really the past 3 weeks since Annunciation, since more... Even, you could probably say it was even the senators murdered here,
Yeah.
and a lot of local stuff happening, and then the Charlie Kirk thing, where I do start questioning maybe faith, and what's our purpose here, what's our higher, and so it was interesting for me to look and go, okay, what type of person am I, and where do I want to go from here? But I've just been in such a, I'm just not anxiety, not necessarily overthinking in this situation, but I've just been in a low energy.
Yes, I
Does
get
that
it.
make sense?
And paying attention to the news a little bit more. I have to get rid of one of my apps, one of my news apps,
Yeah.
because they give you an update on everything, and it might be a terrible thing that's happened, I don't know, like in Cleveland. And I'm like, "Oh my god, is that happening here?" And then I look and it's not, and it's not that it makes it less tragic, but it's just like I can't hear about everything that's terrible that's going on.
Right.
I actually think that what you just brought up is kind of what's created a significant divide in this world where, especially in the younger generations, a lot of people don't have that purpose, especially young generation, which you're not supposed to or expected to necessarily. Like, you're still learning about yourself. You're still learning about the things you like, the people that you should or should not be around.
Darn it.
I think a lot of people don't have that purpose in their life, and you need to be satisfied within your own life to almost show outward kindness, I think, to people, because when you don't feel like you have a purpose, a love, whether that be hobby, person, whatever, if you don't feel like you have like an identity that is yourself, people find sometimes the wrong identities to attach themselves to, or outwardly hate others for the things that they don't have. Sometimes that's subconscious and stuff like that. I'm just seeing a ton of divide in the country of a lot of people who are attaching themselves to beliefs that were never meant to be personality traits, such as politics. Politics were supposed to be kind of an independent thing that we all kind of came together and focused on when the time was right and held people to account. But it was never meant, in my belief, to be a celebrity creator. It was never meant to be a personality trait.
Mm-hmm.
And we've created identities that are around very divisive politics. And when that's your personality trait and that's such a huge aspect of your being, it's obviously created an amount of hatred that results in violence, and all this plays out online. And it all started when the internet was formed. People felt like there was a place where you can just express some of the most ridiculous things with no repercussions.
And heinous, yeah.
Mhm.
And now you're seeing a lot of that, when you hit trolls, people online that are just hateful and say rude things because there was no accountability.
Mhm.
Now you're starting to see that stuff spill out
Play
of
out,
the
yeah.
of the internet and play out in real life where people want to make more legitimate changes. And I see it so many people with false identities and lost young people. And it doesn't, with this expectation that we were supposed, I have young siblings. I know I'm going on a diatribe here, but like, I have young siblings who are trying to find their way. And I have a young sister who attached themselves to sexual identities that were trending and political ideology that is trending and is important to be a part because she's in like a college community or a high school community where that's the popular thing. And you can't go against that because then you'll be the enemy of all these people. And that's how the world is. And we have young people who don't have their identities yet, who feel this pressure to identify with something. And I don't know where that pressure is coming from. It's probably just from a mob mentality of all their friends online and these communities and stuff. And if they can get to a point where, I'm going to use your example because you said it well, where think of how long it took you to get to where you are now, even through your 30s and 20s, probably good times and horrible times and challenging times, trying to find yourself and the things that are important to you. And think about how long it took to get to this point in your life where you feel very comfortable and very much like yourself, I'm assuming.
I do. I also feel though like there's so much work that I could do better.
But that's what we need.
Right, yeah.
Is that introspective, you know what? If I'm angry at someone else, like if I get angry, I get it here. If I get mad at people here, I end up having to go home and be like, when I told you to me or whatever, when I was,
people are putting a lot of crazy words
Hug
in
you
there
can put whatever you want
to
in there.
cupcake you.
Yes. I was annoyed by you, and I had to go home and be like, well, you know what? I was actually annoyed at some more internal things, and that frustration came outward. People need to do more of that self-reflection and stuff like that, because it's normally all this anger, hatred, violence, and all this stuff ends up coming from a place of like,
Inside.
in
Maybe
here.
it's time we all got a journal and write down your ugly thoughts there instead of letting them bottle and explode and then you go get a gun.
The thing
Yes,
that I hate,
yeah.
the thing that I hate the worst is that I don't want to get this into a gun control debate because I was raised around guns. I think people should have guns, whether it's for sport or hunting or even protection. The thing that I hate the most, and I see this all the time, is like more gun control rules. And you and I are very much the same, all three of us, when it comes to mental health, is that we need to figure out why so much rage is being built up and why we're not helping the people that have the rage, or why they don't feel comfortable talking about their rage
Mm-hmm.
more so than anything else. Because we're spending $2 million. I say this all the time because I'm so frustrated with it. We're spending $2 million on some sort of wall that's going across a bridge so people don't commit suicide. What? Okay, well, if they really want to commit suicide, no offense, they're going to go do it somewhere else then.
Yep.
They're not going to go to this bridge.
Mm-hmm.
We need to work on people's rage and people's anger more than we need to work on any other thing.
So what's interesting is that a conversation with Roy around the Charlie Kirk shoot, we talk about that stuff. It's social issues that interest me. And I said a very similar thing is like, I'm not saying that, the gun issue in the United States isn't something that's important. It should be addressed. But when you're referring to a lot of these situations that are happening, if you're yelling about gun control, for example, the Annunciation shooting, and people could get mad at this, but I'm not saying that we shouldn't take a look at gun laws and really make some adjustments. I'm not saying that. But if that's the only thing that you're focusing on, which is, a political issue, you're addressing the symptom and not the disease.
Correct.
And that's what we've been doing consistently, non-frickin' stop.
Yeah.
And I don't see any of this stuff as really being fixed until you start identifying what the disease is, and it's mental.
Mm-hmm.
In this country,
yeah.
And not just this country, it's around the world. Do you think we're the only ones that are dealing with this? We feel like we are because we're in a silo at times.
Yeah.
But these immigration issues, not necessarily guns, but other weapon issues, like the UK doesn't have any guns. What do they have? They have a significant knife issue.
Yeah.
Go to other countries. It's kind of the same but different.
Well, we talked to that woman in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even have a stick. And she was joking, but there's certain, but there's still people that commit. Yes. Is it less? Again, I don't want this to be a gun thing, but what I'm saying is if we don't work on people's rage and moderate and identify, oh, this person's very angry, let me talk to them and try to get them some help, or let me alert someone so they don't do this, because the whole mental thing is just
social media
crazy.
Is a disease.
It's
mate.
100%,
it's a disease.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing, this is where I don't know where the world's going. And I know we got to end the podcast soon, but now you're starting to see it kind of come to fruition where, all the heads of technology companies are sitting at tables and talking to presidents about how much money that they're going to be, investing, which is, by the way, that's going to become, you might as well look at that as part ownership of the country. Because if anything, if you invest into a company, you're expecting some sort of
payback, percentage
of ownership or decision-making back as to where that money is going to be used and yada, yada, yada. So we're a long way from it, but you can, I have no problem if you want to get rid of high capacity firearms or whatever it is. But
still not going to get rid of people's
You're
rage.
going to see people finding other ways to cause harm, and then you're going to be facing another issue. And it's a scary world, man.
Yeah. But I brought it up because it was something that was bothering me personally since I believe, again, the senator shootings, the Annunciation, and now Charlie Kirk, who oddly hit me in a weird way. Didn't know much about the guy.
Oh, I still don't.
I've seen his stuff and not a fan, not against him, but I think what did it was to see the video that I saw.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm glad.
I don't.
Yeah, don't. It'll stay with you.
And it just to be that as a father and see this video is going to be on the internet forever, and he lost his kids lost a father. Again, his wife lost a husband. So it's just
young.
It's, I can be very firm in, I don't care if you're Republican or liberal or any, I could be friends with anyone,
Right.
And if I don't like what you say, I don't have to surround myself with it and I'll walk away.
Right.
I don't need that in my life,
Yeah, you don't need to solve anything.
So
it's not a way to solve anything.
But not to be more negative, but the other thing I saw from that when I first saw that happen, it was the same thing. I don't want to say you heard the first comment I said when the Charlie Kirk, and I regretted that because I don't like the guy.
Well, I said something to you.
I don't say I don't like the guy. I don't like how he handles his stuff. He makes me nervous, all this different stuff. But when that happened, I saw it made me think of when we bomb like a Middle East country and we say we're trying to kill a terrorist leader and we end up killing, let's say, 10 citizens.
Mm-hmm.
You've created an enormous amount of future terrorists who have now become angry,
Mm-hmm.
rightfully so, at us. I saw that happen, and I just thought we just basically probably created a bunch more people who will want to get back at the left,
Mhm.
and then vice versa.
Back and forth, yeah.
And I just saw way more polarization that's going to come out of that. And
I think
I,
that's so weird too. It's like, oh, this is all on the Democrats, or it's like, really? Do you think everybody sits in a room and
As soon
just
as
goes, "Let's do this"?
Guy
That's so
was
weird.
assassinated. They started pointing fingers at each other.
It's so bizarre.
Here's the thing that and we're seeing it because there's a Facebook post that has been driving me crazy. It's someone is trying just to do a candlelight vigil for any Charlie Kirk supporters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. Fine, whatever. I don't care about that. I enjoy kind of learning more about this man.
Sure.
But the first comments are, did anyone do this for the kids at Annunciation? Well, yes.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, did anyone do this for the Democrats? Yes, there were.
It's don't make it political. The man is dead, for God's sake.
Here's the thing. If there wasn't, why didn't you start one?
Yeah.
If there wasn't a candlelight vigil, which there was for the Annunciation School or whatever, why didn't you go out and start one? This person's just trying to start something to gather people just to remember,
Just to poke
a father or
just to
someone
stir
who,
up the
and
bees.
it's already starting. I'm like, the guy isn't in the ground,
Oh,
and you're already just back at it.
That's
It's
what
just
made
like anytime we see a school shooting, a couple of days later, everything's back to normal.
mhm.
that's what
But not for the parents or the families or the kids that
So
attended that school.
disappointing.
and that's why I went to that vigil.
Yeah.
For Annunciation, and I think it gave enough people hopefully some healing because of the amount of the community that showed up. I found that vigil to be personally, and I don't disagree with me. I don't mean any offense by this at all. My opinion on that vigil was it was completely out of taste for what was needed in that time. It was so raw, and it felt like just a platform for all the local politicians to.
It was too political.
It was so political, and it was all them just talking about their political
Beliefs,
platforms and what they want to do and riling people up. It was a way for the politicians to get support from that community, and it felt in no way to me like the
Sincere.
focus was on the actual hurt of the community, and it made me sick.
Yeah.
It really did.
I could see where that would happen too. Yeah. But again, I bring it up because I'm probably one of many that feel just energy drained and
Oh yeah.
ready just to
Tired.
fix things or do things like what do I do with my hands? So
What do I do with my hands?
so
What do I do with my feelings? I don't know.
I would say everybody, if we can all just focus on yourself and making if everyone does that, which won't happen, but if everyone can just look at themselves and try and make themselves, their lives, the people in their life happy, you will bring more happiness out to the world, and that will start to actually make a change.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Well, and that's why Lauren and I her and I are in the same situation. We're in the same feelings, same whatever. And this weekend we're going to try something, see if it works and go from there. So yeah, we'll see. All you can do is try, right?
That's very vague. What the hell does that mean?
Oh,
What are you guys going to try?
Or start a bread baking company. Everyone loves bread.
I don't
so.
even know if that's serious. Are you serious?
Yeah, we're going to start it. We're going to raisin bread, marmalade bread.
still
Everyone
can't-
loves bread and we're going to hand it out.
Is he
My neighbor works for a flour company.
Oh, see? There
If
you
you'd
go.
like to.
No, Alex, I'm not starting a bread baking company.
I don't know. You guys get into weird stuff, so I thought it was believable. It was believable.
Well, my neighbor does work for a flour company.
Oh.
If
maybe
you
we
wanted a good deal on
You need
flour.
a bunch of dandelions in your bread.
No, flour like baking flour.
Got
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that was more of a serious one than we got into, but I'm glad we did because I'm sure people are feeling the same. So, of course, we welcome all of your comments as long as they're not hateful in the bottom, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook.
If you are hateful, we're gonna be hateful back.
No, I'm not gonna.
Oh,
I won't
anonymously.
I won't read
oh.
it.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.